We're live. Okay.
What's going on, everybody? And welcome everybody this Friday evening to Know Your Rights, to Arkansas Renters United. Renters United Know Your Rights platform tonight that we're having. We encourage everybody to share the YouTube link with friends and family and peers on social media. Tonight's discussion is basically about just knowing your rights as a renter in Arkansas. And we're going to talk about a lot of different talking points and a lot of different information about what you need to know right now during this pandemic about your rights as a renter in Arkansas. We're going to hear from different people that are giving testimonies about their personal experiences on different issues that they've been facing. We'll be talking about types of eviction, improper landlord practices and what to do about them, what kind of legal services are available to you from different groups around Arkansas, immigrant renters' rights, LGBTQ renters' rights, and other ways you might be covered during the coronavirus pandemic. Hold on just a second.
Hola, buenas tardes. Me llamo Cyrus Bali y hoy estamos aquí esta noche con Rentadores Unidos de Arkansas. Esta noche vamos a tener historias, vamos a platicar sobre desalojos, qué debe de hacer usted, conocer más sobre sus derechos aquí en Arkansas, que hay que saber que estamos aquí para ustedes y para todos. También vamos a dar información sobre servicios legales y también derechos.
So I'll just go through that one more time slowly. Tonight, we'll be discussing types of evictions,
También vamos a platicar
improper landlord practices and what you can do about them, legal services available to you,
y también servicios legales avalibles para usted,
immigrant renters' rights,
también derechos para los inmigrantes que son rentadores,
LGBTQ renters' rights,
derechos de la comunidad,
and other ways you might be able to be covered during this coronavirus pandemic.
y todas las maneras que usted puede ser cubrido durante este
Also,
COVID-19.
tonight we got support from our local artist community. We have a very talented poet and educator, Soulflower, who will be sharing some of her poetry and spoken word and information on how you can support the artist community by supporting her with her Cash App information and her link to her latest musical project available online.
También esta noche nos va a llegar una poeta que se llama Soulflower. Su Cash App va a estar aquí. También el link.
So just quickly, we know that 200,000 Arkansans have filed for unemployment during this coronavirus pandemic. and many are unable to pay rent.
Ahorita sabemos que 200,000
So
personas
if you're one of the
necesitan-
people that's experiencing issues, just know that you're not alone and that you can call Arkansas Renters United at 501-376-7151. And as you're watching this with us and enjoying this stream, please feel free, if you're watching on the YouTube stream, to leave your questions, and we'll have a question and answer period later.
En el momento ahorita hay 200,000 personas aquí en Arkansas que han metido solicitud.
My name is Osiris Bali. I'll be one of your moderators tonight for the Renters Know Your Rights Town Hall. And with that being said, we're going to take time to lift up one of our renters right now that's going to give a testimonial. At this time, we're going to hear from Clark about this testimonial on their experience during this pandemic as a renter.
Ahorita en el momento hay 200,000 personas que han metido solicitud para desempleo y hay bastantes personas que necesitan ayuda para su renta. Si tiene cualquier pregunta sobre esto, por favor, llame al 501-376-7151. Si tiene preguntas, por favor, métalas aquí en los comentarios. Ahorita vamos a escuchar sobre nuestra presentadora Clark y su testimonio.
Go now. I'm looking at Anika. Okay, yeah. My name's Clark, and this is my partner Marvin. We were living in almost Rose City, like East North Little Rock, and we had a landlord. Oh.
Okay. Me llamo Clark y mi pareja Marvin. Estamos viviendo aquí en Little Rock,
They said, wait a
en
second.
North Little Rock, y tenemos una.
Good. Okay. We had a landlord who he was renting the place out to us, and there were a lot of problems with it when we moved in. Like one of the breakers was messed up, and when you flipped it, it would like spark really big, and then there's been like squirrels in the attic and in the walls, and we had rats.
Yeah, when I first tried to move in with appliances, he didn't provide any appliances, so we had to buy new appliances, and the movers didn't want to plug in again because there was like large parts coming out of the plug for the dryer, and then the lights blasted because we had like squirrels in the attic. There was fecal matter all over in the attic from squirrels. And then what was it like there was also fecal matter.
Go slower for the ASL translator.
Okay. There was fecal matter underneath the sink for like cat litter.
Yeah.
The carpets weren't clean. He claimed he was going to clean them. Never went, like came by from his home in Alabama. He had to travel here just to.
Okay, yeah. Maria's trying to translate while we're talking, so Anika's gonna give us.
Okay.
Sorry, we've never done this before.
No, thank you.
Okay, yeah.
El dueño que nos
Yeah,
estaba
keep going.
rentando el lugar donde vivíamos,
pause for a
nosotros
second.
habían varios problemas de electricidad,
Okay.
habían ratas, también hasta habían fisis bajo el lavamanos. No nos dio secadora, lavadora, cosas esenciales para hacer nuestras cosas en casa, y también tenía que viajar desde Alabama hacia Little Rock o hasta Arkansas para hacer los arreglos que se necesitaba.
So he never he claimed that he was going to clean it the next month I moved in. Also, he didn't have the ducts for the heater. He like a lot of things in the house were like for the tube for the heater, cleaning out the fecal matter everywhere. He tried to get rid of the squirrel like the fourth month we were there.
Yeah, after a few months, he tried to get rid of the squirrels. He just put some poison up, and then when he did that, he busted a hole in our ceiling because he stepped in the wrong place, and so there was just a huge hole in the ceiling in our room that
They said he was trying to get rid of a squirrel. Okay. Él estaba tratando de quitar, de deshacerse de una ardilla por nuestro techo, y cuando él hizo eso, hizo un grande hoyo en nuestro techo.
There was just a huge hole in the ceiling in our room, and we had to patch it with tape and like a shopping bag or something because he didn't want us to repair it. It was basically just like really.
Nosotros tuvimos que poner tape y plástico porque él no reparara. Era un grande hoyo que estaba dentro de nuestro cuarto.
It was basically just really unsafe and unsanitary the whole time. It was like options, so that's what we picked. It was like 3 bedrooms for like $4 something, not even $500. So that's, that was our best option at the time. And we wanted to work on the community garden that was across the street. So we decided to live there.
After the 6-month lease.
No era seguro. No era seguro y no era sanitario, no habían varias opciones, eran 3 cuartos por más o menos $400 o $500 al mes. Era la mejor opción durante el tiempo porque había un jardín comunitario. Nosotros queríamos trabajar ahí.
After the 6-month lease, he wanted to increase the rent to $500.
Yeah, $525.
$525 without making any repairs. When we tried to tell him these issues, I felt like we're being ignored based on race and gender.
Yeah, Marvin had brought issues to him before, and he hadn't listened or done anything. And then I brought up the same issues, and he would listen to me and agree to do something about them sometimes.
So, después de los 6 meses de renta, el dueño quería incrementar la renta a $525 sin reparaciones. Le contábamos varias veces sobre estos problemas, y cuando Marvin le estaba tratando de decir sobre estos problemas, el dueño no quiso arreglarlas, pero cuando yo le dije sobre estos problemas, ahí sí ya decidió más o menos arreglarlos.
So after a few months of that, almost 6 months of us trying to repair it and getting very little from the landlord in the way of help and just trying to make it a livable home, we had bought a dryer, a washer, a stove, and a refrigerator. And one day last week, I went to the bathroom, and when I came out, I smelled what I thought was matches. And I walked into the living room, like following the smell, and the dryer was on fire. It was during that big rainstorm with all of the lightning and thunder.
Okay, después de los 6 meses de nosotros tratando de hacer todas las reparaciones, compramos una lavadora, una secadora, una refri, y después la semana pasada fui al baño, y cuando salí del baño olí humo. Después me di cuenta que la secadora prendió fuego.
So I tried to put it out with water. There wasn't a fire extinguisher in the apartment, I'm pretty sure. I don't sure.
No.
So I tried to put it out with water and I realized it was too big of a fire to put it out. And so I ran and I woke Marvin up and we just got out of the house and called 911 and the fire department put it out. They got there fairly quickly, like within 5 minutes, I think. So it stayed isolated to the kitchen, but we still can't live there anymore. And the landlord tried to offer, like he said, would you guys still want to live there when we get it repaired? And we said, absolutely not, because like, I don't trust him to make those repairs that need to be made, which,
In the walls.
yeah, there was a huge hole in the wall. I don't trust him to fix the wall, A, and then B, the electrical problems that may have contributed to the fire as well.
So, sacar el fuego con agua, pero me di cuenta que también que no había extinguidora de fuego y el fuego se hizo muy grande que tuve que llamar al 911 y dentro de 5 minutos el fuego llegó hasta arriba, hasta el segundo nivel. Ya no quería vivir ya más ahí. Después el dueño nos preguntó que si después de que él hiciera todas las reparaciones que nosotros regresáramos ahí. No tengo confianza que él haga o mantenga su palabra.
Do you have anything you want to add?
I don't think so. That's all I can think of. Other than his behavior,
Yeah.
you know, he didn't listen to me, but he listened to you only if, like, only like a certain measure. Then he'll like, so like now, like then like he'll try to approach us about politics, which are like very reactionary.
Yeah, he made a lot of like political like comments at us, like
In a
trying
predominantly black neighborhood.
yeah, trying to be like complimentary about Trump and things like that. And like, you know, he has his opinions or whatever. It was, I don't know, he just kept trying to like
I just felt racial overtones or undertones.
And then what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say. There's an insurance adjuster, like an insurance inspector, who came by after the fire, who said, well, she wouldn't say exactly what she was trying to get across, but when we mentioned that he offered to let us stay at another property of his, or she kind of like made a face. So I guess he kind of has a reputation as a landlord around here.
We actually had a repair guy named Zazius.
I couldn't hear Marvin well.
Okay.
But I heard
Yeah.
Another impression we had from his performance was from a repairman named Zazius, and he gave us the impression that he didn't care much about repairing his property or taking care of it. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah. All right, thanks for hearing us out.
Gracias por oír nuestra historia.
Thank you, Clark and Marvin,
Gracias a Clark
for sharing your story about your experience as a renter in Arkansas.
Experiencias como rentadores aquí en Arkansas.
Again, we know that a lot of people are facing unemployment, and some people are going through the process of trying to pay their rent and not being able to work. So if you're experiencing issues, please call Arkansas Renters United at 501-389-8255. 376 7151 so that we can get you some assistance and get you any information that we can right now. Next, I believe we have another testimonial from another renter.
Tenemos un próximo testimonio de un rentador
And I don't have a name for that
y
person.
no tengo nombre para esa persona.
That person will remain,
Creo que esa persona va a permanecer anónimo,
or we moving forward.
moviéndose adelante.
Okay, so right now, I want to introduce you all
Ahorita le
to
quiero presentar
speakers that will be coming before you this evening.
van a
First,
platicar enfrente de ustedes.
we have
Tenemos
Kendall
a
Llewellyn
Kendall
from
Llewellyn
Arkansas Legal Services.
con los servicios líderes de Arkansas
Also, we'll have Mac Bolt
y también vamos a tener Mac Bolt
with LGBTQ renter support and resources.
con los recursos de LBGT
Then we'll have John Comstack.
y vamos a tener a
So
John
first, please give your attention to Kendall Llewellyn with Arkansas Legal Services.
Denle la atención a Kendall Llewellyn
Thank
con los
you.
servicios legales de Arkansas.
All right, well, my name's Kendall Llewellyn. I'm with the Center for Arkansas Legal Services, and we're a nonprofit law firm. What we do is we represent low-income Arkansans in civil or non-cases.
So, lucro y somos una organización de abogados y estamos ayudando a residentes de Arkansas que tienen bajos recursos.
An area that we handle is housing, especially landlord-tenant law. Now, we don't endorse any.
Okay. Ayudamos primariamente con lugares y donde vive la gente y también con leyes de renta.
We do represent tenants in
Casos.
So I'm happy to tell you a little bit about evictions in Arkansas and during COVID-19.
Pues estoy feliz para contarles hoy sobre los desalojos aquí en Arkansas. Más información.
Next slide. And if y'all could help me understand how I can see the slides on the screen, that would be great. If not, I'll just roll with it. So in Arkansas, okay.
En Arkansas,
Sorry about that. In Arkansas, self-help, what we call self-help evictions are illegal.
en Arkansas,
Anika.
los desalojos del propio individual son ilegales.
You know, that's okay. I can just look at Anika. So what this might look like is if a landlord were to go to someone's house to change their locks, remove their belongings, or shut off their utilities without a piece of paper signed by a judge or a clerk, a court order.
Cambiando las chapas, sacando todas las cosas de las personas, es como se mira este tipo de desalojo que es ilegal y especialmente si no tienen una notificación.
Okay, and people who do this can be sued for what's called forcible entry.
Con fuerza al hogar.
Next slide. Arkansas, so you might be wondering, what does a legal eviction process look like? Arkansas has actually 3 eviction methods methods on the books. And the most common one by far is called an unlawful detainer. You can look at the slides for more information about this.
Lo más común
But if
con
someone,
tenedores que no son legales. Una presentación.
if someone is served with this kind of lawsuit, they have to file an objection within 5 days and pay rent to the court in order to move forward.
Si alguien les da una notificación así, les tiene que pagar a la corte directamente para la renta.
And if people have more questions about this, they can ask me one-on-one afterwards. Arkansas also has what we call failure to vacate. You may have heard this called criminal eviction.
Directamente conmigo, otro tipo de desalojo es no salirse del hogar.
And we're the only state in the country that prosecutes tenants if they are unable to pay their rent. And
Could you only state in the country?
we
to
have
do what?
seen,
Bueno. Nosotros en Arkansas somos el único estado en el país que perseguimos a los rentadores. Dan su renta. Se puede convertir en algo criminal.
and in a criminal eviction, it doesn't actually allow someone to remove the tenant from the home, but the tenant usually moves to avoid criminal charges.
Necesariamente este desalojo criminal directamente con fuerza saca a la persona, pero van a recibir cargos criminales.
Arkansas has one other eviction method on the books. It is a civil method in district court, but it's rarely used. It's the one in the third column, just so you're aware of that.
It has one other. Could you repeat that one more time, please? Could you repeat that one more time, please?
I'm sure that a lot of people listening are wondering about this federal eviction ban they may have heard of. And we can go ahead and go to the next slide. On March 27th, the president signed the CARES Act into law, and this included a eviction moratorium or ban on evictions for non-payment of rent in certain properties that are funded by the federal government in some way.
El 17 de marzo, el presidente de los Estados Unidos firmó el acto para prevenir los desalojos, el moratorio, para prevenir que la gente no se salgan de los hogares o que tengan un desalojo.
So owners of these properties can't evict for non-payment of rent, charge late fees, or even issue valid eviction notices until at least July 25th.
Dueños de estos hogares, que son dueños para estos hogares, antes del julio 23, no pueden cobrar penalidades si uno no paga su renta y no los pueden hacerse desalojar.
People should understand that rent is still technically due and it is not forgiven under the CARES Act. So once the moratorium is over, landlords of covered properties can begin issuing eviction notices in late July for non-payment of rent.
que no está perdonada, no está
So,
perdonada la renta y que
which
todavía va a ser
properties are
debido
covered?
después del 20. Si uno no le paga después del 23 de julio, sí tiene probabilidad que lo desalojen de su hogar. Pues la próxima cosa es qué propiedades son cubiertas.
Well, properties are going to be covered if they're funded by the federal government, like HUD or USDA or other kind of housing where your rent is based on your income. And it also covers housing that just happens to have a mortgage that's backed by the federal government. So some people might have a VA loan, or they might have a loan that has been bought by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. Those properties are covered.
También otras propiedades que están cubiertas son hogares que tienen préstamos de parte del gobierno, que sean del VA, de los veteranos de USDA, y también préstamos que han sido comprados por Fannie Mae o Freddie Mac.
Thanks. We can go to the next slide now. You might be wondering, okay, that's pretty complicated. How am I supposed to actually know if my home is covered by this?
Puede pensar que esto es algo complicado, y usted también se puede estar preguntando, ¿cómo puedo saber si mi hogar está protegido por esto?
Well, in Arkansas, if a landlord files an eviction case right now, they are supposed to include in their paperwork whether or not the home is covered by the CARES Act.
Un dueño va a meter solicitud para un desalojo. En los documentos debe de incluir esa información si el hogar o la propiedad está protegida por el acto de CARES.
Okay, but tenants should double check that for themselves. And there have been some pretty good databases put online where people can look up their homes to check.
De verificar esa información, hay varios recursos en el internet donde usted puede hacer eso.
Okay, and these are very good for multifamily properties or bigger places. They're not so good when it comes to small apartment complexes or a single family home. A really good one that's very easy to use is don'tgetkickedout.com.
Could you repeat the address? Estos sitios son bien llenos de buena información, típicamente para unidades o propiedades que tengan, como es que sean duplex o triplex. No son muy buenos para apartamentos o hogares para solo una familia. Donde puede ir es a don'tgetkickedout.com.
Okay, and I'd like to show you how to use it really quickly if I can share my screen. Okay. In any case, you can just go to don'tgetkickedout.com and narrow it down by address, and that can give you some really good information about which properties are covered.
Información ahí.
And housing can be covered even if it is not listed on those websites. And that's going to happen a lot when you live in a single family home or a small apartment complex. We can go to the next slide with the legal aid map on it. These are complicated issues, and we don't think that tenants should have to figure them out on their own. So if people have questions about their specific situations, we encourage them to contact their local legal aid office. You should be able to see the numbers on the screen. There are 2 programs in the state, and you can just look at which county you live in and call the appropriate number, and hopefully we'll be able to help you out.
Estos son problemas complicados y rentadores no deberían de enfrentarse con estos problemas solos, ¿verdad? Si tiene preguntas sobre su caso específico, por favor llámenos. Hay 2 diferentes tipos de programas que usted puede usar y esa información la tenemos aquí.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me. If people have questions, I'll answer them at the end.
Las responderé al final.
Thank you, Kendall Llewellyn. Our next speaker will be Mac Bolt with LGBTQ Renters Issues and Support.
Hey everyone. I'm a resident assistant at Lucy's Place, which is a program that supports LGBTQ youth experiencing housing instability in Arkansas.
Y trabajadora en Lucy's Place, que es un lugar que ayuda a los jóvenes de parte de la comunidad LGBTQ aquí en Arkansas.
I'm also the assistant director of the Central Arkansas Harm Reduction Project.
Soy directora asistente del Arkansas Harm Reduction Project.
An LGBTQ-led organization that's working to reduce overdose deaths in the community.
No tengo mucha información sobre servicios legales, pero voy a precisar. Could you repeat that 87%?
No, you're okay. I said 7% of US youth are LGBTQ, but it's estimated that 40% of youth that are experiencing homelessness are in the community, LGBTQ.
Las estadísticas son tristes porque el 7% de jóvenes se identifican como LGBTQ y el 30% de esos jóvenes no tienen hogares.
All right. Can I go? Let's see. Okay, so the trans women have been homeless in their life. And it's really important to focus on the rights of trans renters in particular because of the general population, 64% of people own homes, but only 16% of trans people own homes, which is striking when you think about how many of them are trying to rent but ending up homeless instead, largely due to the fact that most states, including Arkansas, do not protect the LGBTQ community from discrimination.
Importante de también enfocarse en los transgéneros porque solo 16% de los transgéneros tienen hogares o son dueños de sus hogares, ¿verdad? Y esa información es debido porque aquí en el estado de Arkansas, igual como varios otros estados, no tienen leyes para proteger a los transgéneros.
Job discrimination can make it very difficult, especially for trans people, especially for trans women, to get legally employed, and they often end up criminalized because they were forced into underground economies such as sex work and drug dealing.
Hay bastante discriminación en los trabajos para darles a las personas que son transgéneros. Eso los pone en posición para encontrar otros métodos de obtener un tipo de ingreso como trabajo de sexo o drogas.
And even trans people who have no criminal record might face housing. For example, if a landlord sees that the gender identity on their ID does not match what they perceive them to be in person.
Y aunque no tengan récord criminal, estos individuos, si un dueño de una propiedad de renta mira que los géneros del ID no está correcto con lo que ellos ven, pueden también ser discriminados.
And this has led to a huge crisis of LGBTQ youth experiencing homelessness, which I will now be talking about the support community that we have for those youth.
Dado crisis para los jóvenes de la comunidad LGBTQ aquí que no tengan hogares aquí en el estado.
Okay. At Luke's Place, we usually have a shelter open. Unfortunately, the board and former director recently decided to shut it, but we are hoping to have it open again within the next couple months.
Lucy's Place tienen hogar temporal que sí lo mantenemos abierto, pero porque los directores o los ejecutivos decidieron cerrarla, no ha estado cerrada, pero tenemos esperanzas de abrirlos en los próximos meses.
In the meantime, our drop-in center on 7th Street will be open on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 12 to 4 for LGBTQ youth 18 to 25 needing support and services.
Mientras estamos aceptando donaciones los lunes, miércoles y viernes de 12 a 4 de la tarde en la calle 7 para nuestros jóvenes que son edades de 18 a 25 años de edad.
Okay. We offer clothing, food, hygiene supplies. Hopefully we will be offering case management services again and helping connect people to housing even if we can't offer it.
Ofrecemos ropa, comida, productos de higiene, and what else did they? The last part, she said something else. Could you repeat the last part after the hygiene items?
Mm-hmm. I would also, okay. Trying to remember, oh yeah. Hopefully case management services resume soon too, so that we can connect people to housing even if we can't offer it right now.
Y tenemos esperanza que tengamos managers o que podemos ayudar con los casos para darles hogar.
Okay. Other community resources include Intransitive and for Artistic Revolution, who have been supporting the displaced youth as well as other trans people who have been displaced during COVID.
Otros recursos que son incluidos aquí en la comunidad son Intransitivo y CARS, que ayuda con los desalojos, que han ayudado los desalojos de estos jóvenes.
The Arkansas Trans Transgender Equity Collaborative, RTEC, can also help with people who need their name and gender changed on documents.
También está ArcTech, que ayuda a la comunidad, la comunidad de transgéneros para cambiar su género y identificaciones si necesitan.
RTEC also sometimes has money in their Trans Emergency Support Fund, so they might be worth reaching out to about that if you are in a crisis situation.
Y también tienen unas veces unos fondos para emergencia para la comunidad de trans si necesitan ayuda inmediatamente.
Lastly, while this is not housing specific, the Central Arkansas Harm Reduction Project offers any support we can specifically to LGBTQ youth who are sex workers or who use drugs and might need support from other people who understand those life experiences.
Y de último, el Harm Reduction Project, el proyecto de reducir daño, ayudamos a la comunidad de trans, a trabajadores de sexo que también necesitan ayuda para reducir el uso de drogas y esas cosas, también ayudamos con esto.
Okay. And lastly, I wanted to say that we're only able to support each other through community. So if you know any job or housing opportunities that are supportive of LGBTQ youth and might be lenient about bad credit histories for people who really need housing in this community, please email me at, I'll let you catch up.
También quiero decir que nosotros entre comunidad nos podemos ayudar. Si usted conoce trabajos o donde puedan rentar que no necesariamente investiguen del historial crédito de las personas, nos ayudaría bastante con ayudar a nuestra comunidad de trans en la comunidad LGBTQ.
Okay. Email me at mackenzie@lucy'splace.org. That's MACKENZIE @UCIESPLACE.org.
Si tiene
Thank you.
información sobre esto, por favor envíeme un correo electrónico a Mackenzie, MACKENZIE @Lucy'sPlace, LUCIESPLACE.org. Gracias.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks, everyone.
So,
Thank you, Mac Bolt. And our last speaker will be John Comstock. John Comstock.
Smackbot, el último platicador o orador será John Comstock. Okay.
Good evening. My name is John Comstock, and I'm an attorney in Northwest Arkansas. So
Buenas tardes, me llamo John Comstock y soy un abogado en el noroeste de Arkansas.
I just really want to give you some specific things to do as it relates to trying to avoid being evicted.
Les quiero dar específicas en qué hacer para evitar que ustedes sean una víctima.
One is if you're late for your rent or you're not going to be able to pay your rent for some reason, be sure and communicate that to the landlord. Tell the landlord email address, send them an email, or call them, go by their office, do something, but tell them what your circumstances are, because you want to be able to be sure that the landlord knows what is going on.
Número 1, usted debe de comunicarse con el dueño o el property manager de la propiedad. Como si usted sabe que no va a poder pagar, por favor comuníqueselo con ellos, que sea por un correo electrónico, pero no los deje saber que no lo van a hacer. es importante comunicarse con ellos.
You don't need to call an attorney yet, but if you're late for your rent, maybe you can reach out to some community services, see if there's some organization, a church, whatever it might be, that might help you make an emergency rental payment.
No hay necesidad de llamar a un abogado necesariamente. Llame a organizaciones comunitarias o una iglesia para ver si ellos los pueden ayudar con fondos necesarios para pagar la renta.
You do need to call an attorney or some legal help if you can. Legal aid, if you're in the legal aid area, you can call me and I think my phone number will be provided. But you need to talk to an attorney if you get any kind of a notice from the landlord or from the court system. It doesn't matter if you get anything that says that you have 3 days to move out or 5 days to move out or 10 days, whatever the time period is, it doesn't matter.
Sí,
Talk to an attorney at that time.
Si necesita llamar a un abogado o un bufete de abogados, yo creo que mi número de teléfono sí lo van a dar. Si usted recibe cualquier notificación de que usted debe desalojar la propiedad en 3, 5 o 10 días, no importa si es el dueño que está dando esa notificación o las cortes del estado de Arkansas, llame.
The attorney can help you best if you call the very day you get the notice or the next day so that they have as much time to gather the information that they need.
Debe de llamar a un abogado inmediatamente cuando reciba la notificación o a esa misma hora, ese mismo día, para que el abogado o la abogada lo puedan ayudar.
And remember this, you are not required to move out of your apartment just because you're late. You're not required to move out just because you've been given a notice from the court or from the landlord, unless it's signed by a judge and is an eviction order.
Okay. Y es importante recordarse que no es un requisito de salirse de su hogar si es una notificación de los dueños de las propiedades o de las cortes. Solo sería un desalojo si un abogado ha firmado.
It could, I said a judge, it could be signed by a judge or possibly sometimes by a clerk of the court. But the important thing is, just because the landlord gives you a notice and tells you to move out in 3 days, you don't have to in Arkansas. Just because you get...
Es importante saber que aunque sea, si puede estar firmado por una corte o puede ser firmado por un ley, la importancia es una firma. Pero si solo es una notificación, no hay necesidad de que usted se salga de su hogar.
But if a lawsuit gets filed and you get this thing called an unlawful detainer action, and they will give you a 5-day notice to get out, you still don't have to get out.
Reciben una demanda y dice que usted tiene que salirse en 5 días o un unlawful detainer, detainer, todavía no debe de salirse de su hogar. No hay requisito de eso.
But what you have to do in that 5 days notice is you have to respond within 5 days. Or delayed, look on their website, they have a form. Something has to be written and filed with the court before that 5 days is up. And that something has to...
Okay, can keep going. Okay. Pero sí, lo que usted debe de hacer es responder antes de los 5 días. Debe de tener algo escrito, vaya con un abogado.
In that 5-day objection that you filed, you have to state, you have to have some basis to tell the judge why you should not be evicted. And typically when you do that, a judge will then schedule a hearing several days later.
Debe de dar una objeción para los 5 días. Debe de dar una basis o información por qué usted no debe de ser desalojado de su propiedad. Después el juez va a poner una audiencia.
If the judge schedules a hearing and you show up for that hearing, if you win, you don't get evicted. But even if you lose, most of the time, the judge is still going to give you some additional time to get out. Just know you don't have to get out until finally a case has been heard and a judge or a clerk has entered an eviction order.
Es importante saber que durante la audiencia, si usted gana, usted no será desalojado, pero si usted pierde, de todos modos, el juez le va a dar unos cuantos días para salirse. Todo debe de ser su proceso y debe de ir ante una audiencia.
Go back for a minute to the very beginning. If a landlord changes the lock on your door, call a lawyer immediately. If they cut off your utilities or interrupt your utilities, call a lawyer immediately, right then. If they try to remove any of your belongings, call a lawyer.
Antes de regresar a lo anterior, recuérdense que si el dueño cambia las chapas, llamen a un abogado. Si el dueño le quita todas las utilidades o se las corta, llame a un abogado. Si el dueño entra y le saca todas sus cosas de su hogar, llame a un abogado.
Okay. I think I would just end by saying that keep in mind, they have to file something with the court first before you can be evicted. And you have to be served with that piece of paper by somebody. And when you get served with that piece of paper, that's when you call that attorney immediately.
Y voy a terminar esto. Recuérdense que ellos tienen que ir ante la corte para meter esa solicitud de desalojo. Ya cuando alguien venga físicamente a su hogar para darle esa notificación de desalojo, llame a un abogado inmediatamente.
And finally, I would say, I'm glad to help anybody that I can. I do it all pro bono. I won't charge any attorney fee, but I'm just a solo practitioner. I don't have any support staff. So if somebody calls me and I can help them, I will. If you just need to talk to me on the phone, ask me some questions, I'll try to give you guidance.
Finalmente, yo con mucho gusto puedo ayudar a cualquier persona pro bono, no cobro nada, pero recuérdense que no tengo empleados para que me den ese apoyo. Pero si ustedes me llaman, yo con mucho gusto les daré la información que ustedes necesitan gratis.
And I would say, that's all. Thank you.
Eso es todo. Gracias.
Gracias.
Thank you, John Comstock. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I don't know if we have any questions. This is our portion where we do Q&A. So I don't know if anyone submitted questions on the YouTube live stream.
Preguntas y respuestas. Si tienen una pregunta, por favor, pónganla ahí en los comentarios o en live stream. No tenemos preguntas ahorita. Pero lo que sí quiero decir es darle las gracias a todos por hablando del corazón. Queremos darle las gracias por toda la información que dieron hoy. Particularmente les damos gracias por todos los recursos que nos han dado. Si usted quiere más información, todos estos recursos están aquí en la pantalla. Si necesita ayuda, si tiene preguntas. Ahorita debe de ver en la pantalla el número para Rentadores Unidos de Arkansas y el número está en la pantalla. And that number is 1-501-376-7151. Y el número es 1-501-376-7151. Le queremos dar todas las gracias a todos y ahorita le retornaré la atención
right.
a nuestro.
We definitely appreciate everybody that's shared testimonials. Clark, Marvin. Definitely want to give a shout out to Arkansas Legal Services, Kendall Llewellyn. Another shout out to Mac Bolt, with LGBTQ resources and issues with Lucy. Now,
le queremos dar las gracias a Clark, Marvin, a Kendall de Arkansas, los Arkansas, a Mac Bolt por ayudar con la comunidad LGBTQ y también a John Comstock.
Okay, so now I want to lift up the artist community. We have a special guest performance from Soulflower. I can't see the YouTube live stream, but hopefully her Cash App is up on the screen. Support our artist community, especially during this pandemic. As a fellow artist, I know that we've lost many opportunities to do shows. So now we're switching to virtual formats as well. Support the Poetic EP. The link is on DistroKid. And without further ado, please give it up for Soulflower.
Hello everyone. My actual name is Mianshe Riddles. But my stage name is Soulflower. That's how I do poetry. As Osiris said, I have a poetry EP entitled Soulflower, the Poetic EP. And today I'm going to do 2 poems from that EP. So the first one is entitled Hey Girl, and my 7th and 8th grade students inspired this. So bear with me. Hey black girl, do you know who you be? The consistency of your divinity has been suppressed by negativity, and it is time to wake up. I said, hey black girl, do you know who you be? The consistency of your divinity has been suppressed by negativity, but I am here to awaken thee, see. You be the rose that grew from the concrete in the jungle where dreams were made from the same nightmare sent to discourage you. You be the beauty that's so deep, roots planted in royalty. You be the seed they tried to bury, the same seed that bloomed and grew, giving the world black girl magic in the form of flowers and fruits. I said, hey, black girl, do you know who you be? You be the red apples in the trees, the orange hue under yellow leaves, green pastures that make beauty envy, the blue skies with the pretty purple stars. You be the light they see from Pluto to Mars. You be the soul and the rhythm and the heartbeat of the culture. Hey, black girl, do you know who you be? You be the butterflies and the bees' knees, the pink on Wednesdays, the you can't sit with me's. If you don't have the grades and girl empowerment and positivity, you be down to earth, but real high maintenance. Take growth serious, and if they don't, they speaking from their heart and saying it with their torso. Hey, black girl, you be accountability, you be beauty. And then this next one, I call it Gems. It's not on my EP, but it will be on my next project. And it's a salute to Black women. See, I heard that a nation of people is as strong as its women. So I understand why society indirectly shoots shots at us on a day-to-day basis. At a young age, they mold our subconscious until it manifests into our conscience. That tell us that our natural hair is unacceptable, unprofessional. They make us feel like our melanated skin is even less acceptable than the natural coils we hold. They tell us that our creativity and outspoken nature is entirely too bold for their liking, and they try to silence us. They come for us because we are a birth of a nation. They come for us because we are without limitations. We are the bar in which they set their standards, and they become pissed off when we excel, exceed. And when they come for our men, when they declare an open season, we're the ones to give them hell. Because it is up to us to manipulate the masses and resurrect our king. See, I heard that this nation could not survive without me. Like my sister Oya said, we are $20 million walking beads. So I understand why the power that I hold is so substantial and why it threatens the evil that operates behind the scenes. Melanated goddess, I am queen. I am powerful beyond means. Scientifically speaking, I am life itself, and I dare anybody to challenge me. You see, the wordplay in this poem is so to declare a war on art to try and stop me. Because the war on drugs, the war on our men couldn't stop us. It only made us stronger. It taught us how to build empires out of the debris left after the storm. And see, I'm continuously contemplating the meaning of this cycle. Thank you. And just like to add, if you all want to follow me on social media, my social media platforms, I'll leave it in the chat, but just to verbalize it, I am Soulflower on Instagram. That's Soul, SOUL, period, FLWER, Soulflower. On Facebook, I am Beyonce Riddles-Stewart because I recently got married. And on Twitter, I am Soulflower with 2 W's. Again, I will put that in the chat section. And if you liked what you heard and you would like to hear more, you can listen to my EP or you can book me. I will leave my email and all my social media handles, as well as my business phone number, and you can contact me that way. Thank you.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you, Soulflower. We appreciate you sharing your artistic expression with us. And like I said, please feel free to support the Poetic EP. That link is on the stream, as well as send Cash App gifts to Soulflower as well. We want to support our artist community. And on that note, I just want to thank everybody for being in on this call with us today. And if there's any final thoughts that speakers want to share, I want to give some time and some space for anybody to just go ahead and share whatever information you can. Thank you to Arkansas Renters for providing this platform. Okay. Well, I think everybody has said all they can say. Definitely was a good call. This was on YouTube, so please be able to share that with your following and any information that you are looking for. If you got peers that need any information, feel free to give them the contact information. I'll give it to you one more time. For Arkansas Renters United, you can call 501-376-7151.